everyone, Erica Zeal here. So I want to ask you today, are your lunges causing you pain? Most common is knee pain, maybe it's back pain, maybe you are not sure if you're doing them right or how to do them. So I want to talk about that today, specifically knee positioning and hip positioning, and it can make a world of a difference when we really pay attention to how we're doing our exercises. Okay, so I'm going to start from the front here, and I want to talk about our leg positioning, okay? And women in particular, it can be really easy that we have a knee that kind of like wavers in, and that could be what's causing the knee pain. So as you're doing lunges, really start to pay attention. Oh my gosh, one, if you have pain, that's an indication that something's not working quite right, or something's not aligned quite right. So we need to listen to those signals and then take a step back and be like, okay, what can I do to prevent that pain? Because if you feel pain and you keep pushing, that can really just lead to injury. And we want to minimize injury if at all possible, right? We want to be working towards having a stronger, more confident body. So when you're here, I've got a little split stance here. So there's a couple things here I just want to show. So with your foot, look at what your foot is doing. You want to really kind of feel some energy and tensegrity, which is really kind of connecting into the fascia, pushing your foot into the ground so you feel a little weight through your heel, midfoot, and spreading out through your toes. A little bit of connection back here, and then I want you to lift and lengthen up through the top of your head. So you know I'm a big one for always connecting lightly through your core. If you don't know what that means, well, after this video, I'll post a link towards more of that, but you can check out a lot of my other videos where I talk about the core connection. That's a big part of everything we do throughout our day. So with that foot pushing down, we've got some energy pulling up through our body. Look at what your knee is doing now, right? So we want to think about this kind of pulling up on the quad, think lifting from the hamstring to the booty, and maybe even slightly wrapping around this thigh. Okay, so when you go down into a lunge, we want to think of our energy going up when we lower down. So lower down, your weight's mostly forward into this front leg, but a little bit in the back leg. But notice my hips here. I'm just going to move my hands so you can see my hips. We want to make sure that this isn't happening, okay? And I'm going to exaggerate so you can really see here on video, but I want you to wrap that hip, pull it underneath, and come on up. And notice how much more solid and strong you can feel. And you may have to come up a little bit out of that lunge, right? So those are two big common ones as we get the knee in, the hip out, or trying to go too deep into a lunge. And this just doesn't look comfortable at all. So wrap underneath. We're not tucking the booty. I'll show you the side angle in just a minute, but lift up, okay? So as you lower up and down, you feel the tracking of the leg, okay? And your range may have to be small. Pulses are always a great way to improve your strength, connect through the fascia. So we want to feel this work right above the knee, pulling up in the quad, but we also want to feel the glute and hamstring working and the low belly. So a lot of things going on with lunges, okay? I'll show you the side angle as well, because this is an important thing to address. So with our stance, one common thing is if you have too wide of a stance, it can really pull you back like this, and you could end up feeling stress in your back. So an easy fix is just shorten your lunge stance. Nothing wrong with that at all, okay? So we want to work with where we're at in order to get stronger down the road. So again, same connection that we just talked about, lifting up. And as you lower down, watch your positioning and watch what your booty's doing. I'm gonna show you a couple things, and I'm just gonna put my arms here. You don't have to do the arms, just so you can see my pelvis. So when you go down, there's two things that I see common that happens is either the booty tucks like this, and then you're like, oh my gosh, my knees and my back, right? We don't want that. So the other one is this, is that like overarching of the back. We don't want that either. We want a happy balance in the middle, and it can look a little bit different from one person to another. So don't compare yours exactly to the person next to you, because our bodies are all a little different. But in general, we don't want the over tucked booty, and we don't want the over arch back, okay? So if you're connecting through your core, when you lower down, you'll start to really feel where you feel the glute and hamstring. That's where I want you to be, is I want you to feel the solid connections with good alignment, and then you can do some pulsing through there. And yes, this right leg is working a little bit. You want to really pull up through your core, but you should really be feeling a good amount of booty work. But same thing as I mentioned before in the other position, if you go too low, you might drop this way or drop that way. And so you want to notice, okay, where can I stay stable to really work on improving my strength around my hips, through my legs, but it's really creating optimal function for your body. So when we take a step back a lot of times and be like, okay, this is hurting my knee, that's a sign, okay, I need to stop, what's going on, right? So, and with lunges too, like doing walking lunges, that's a little bit more beyond just a stationary lunge. So I would always start just working on your stationary lunge to get that really solid and connected, and then you can work on to advancing that into like a walking lunge. So for more on that, if you're ready to dive in and learn more about how to strengthen your entire body, starting with the deep core, my core rehab program is the perfect program for that. We take a step back, we work on fundamentals, but in the end, once you work through all that, your body's going to feel stronger and more connected than ever before.